Hello, Sagittarians. This is Yasha with SoulsIntersect, and I have your April of 2016 reading. I wanted to let you know before I start that I recorded an intro video that tells you a little bit more about myself and what I do. So I will paste the link to that video in the description for this reading. One of the details that I wanted to mention in the video that I forgot to is that obviously I don't shuffle or pull the cards on camera. It's mainly to do with my setup, but I want to assure you that I usually pull 3 cards, and I do meditate on the sign and the time period and do a lot of shuffling and go with just the first 3 cards that I get. I never alter anything, and I don't want to sugarcoat anything. That's not my goal. So sometimes I'll include a 4th or 5th card if they fall out of the deck or something like that. But I just wanted to assure you that everything is authentic. So I will begin. I pulled for you this month, on the top left there, the Queen of Pentacles. On the right we have the Nine of Wands. And then as the 3rd card, an outcome or a general theme, the Nine of Pentacles. So there is a theme to 9s that I'm getting, so I will come back to that in a moment. I want to focus on the Queen. This is someone who is a master at groundedness, at least that is her goal. So I'm feeling like this is representing you this month. So a goal of yours is to get more grounded. Some of you may be looking to really achieve better stability financially or career-wise, gain a better foothold. And I can see that your eyes on the prize for that. That's really a focus of yours. I feel like that's what your eyes are focused on there, achieving that goal. One thing that I'm picking up on is with some of this watery energy behind her. Obviously the Pentacles, Pentacle card is an earthy card, but with the water on the map in the background there, the message I'm getting from that is that one of the things that may be kind of getting in the way for you this month in terms of achieving that final goal is something emotional. It could also be just for some of you, it could be a lack of focus or lack of clarity on something that's confusing you a little bit, but I'm definitely getting that for some of you it's emotional, and I don't mean some kind of long-term, super serious emotional issue, but something that's just happened, like something either in the background that is taking some of that focus away from you, or at least clouding your judgment in some ways. Or for some of you, something pretty much in the foreground. Like, I'm getting that some of you may have been living with someone you were in a relationship with, and you've recently left that relationship, or even divorced someone so that you're newly independent. And I feel like if that's the case for you, it was probably your choice. That's what I'm picking up on. So it's something that you're, while there's the emotional pain and recovery that comes from that regardless, I feel like you took the initiative and it's something that you want. So independence, new independence in a sense, is something that you're focused on and that you do want for yourself. And I do feel like you will achieve that with the Nine of Pentacles here in the final position. This really representing that sense of independence that you yearn for, and stability also financially, or if it's not necessarily about money, it could just be in terms of your position in society, standing on your own, especially if for those of you getting out of a relationship. So with the Nine of Wands kind of between those, while I feel like it absolutely means that you're in the final stages of achieving that independence and whatever your goal is, So it's positive in that sense, but especially in this depiction here, I feel like the character has himself boxed into a corner in a sense. So you can see that the two wands in front are kind of preventing him from moving forward as he's standing behind them. And then the ninth wand in the very front there that he's holding in front of those is almost like creating a little bit of a cage for him. And what I'm picking up from that is that for some of you, and I think it might have to do with some of that emotional stuff. Okay, so for some of you, the emotional thing is overall confidence issues. And that could be stemming back from a long time ago. And this is going to apply to especially those of you really starting out on some creative endeavor that these fiery wands really represent. And it's your bread and butter. You can achieve that, and you have all of the tools you need to really move that creative endeavor forward. But with this kind of boxing himself into a corner, into a cage bit, I feel like you may be preventing yourself from getting, almost like getting to that 10th place from the 9, probably because of confidence issues. So for some of you, it's just acute emotional things you may be going through. But for some of you, I think it stems back farther, like I said, and it's kind of this overall confidence thing. So a personal story is coming to me, which doesn't always happen, but I'm going to share it briefly without going into too much detail or making it about me. But I used to figure skate, and I was pretty talented at the jumps. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen figure skating on TV, and you're familiar with the jumps that take the skater off the ground, and then they land on one foot with their knee bent, with their leg extended back. Well, I was really good at that. I just had this really good spring, and I was able to get to a little bit of a higher height than a lot of my colleagues. And for that reason, I was pretty talented at the jumps. But I had these confidence issues, and for some reason, even though I knew exactly the form and how to do the landing on one foot, I would most of the time prevent myself from doing that and end up coming down on 2 feet. And once you do that, you've basically ruined the jump, the way that it works in judging and competitions. So even though the rest of my jump was better in some ways than a lot of my colleagues, because I would come down on 2 feet, I would end up just ruining the whole thing and not getting as far as I wanted to because I wasn't perfecting those. And I know a lot of Sagittarians are perfectionists, and that can be challenging and tough to work with. But it's especially challenging if we're sort of doing something in it. So it may be similar to what I described in my story, or maybe it may apply to you in some different way, but if you're preventing yourself in some way like that from completing whatever it is you need to do to really perfect it and get to that 10th place from the 9, I feel like that's an issue that's going to be coming up for you for this month. You absolutely can do it, and I do feel like you will at least start to make headway with that, because I have this in the outcome position. I do feel like this is where you're headed. So you're freeing yourself from that cage. You're getting more grounded. All of that green energy is really lucky, and the bird is also kind of a signal that you'll be freeing yourself. And I'm also, not getting any of that water energy in this card. It's completely earth-based, or if there's water, it's gone to feed the plants to make it so green. And so that's luck and prosperity. So some of you may have a windfall. Others of you may start to make headway to start to get to, 10, like the full 10 of Pentacles from this 9. But yeah, so for most of you this month, you'll at least make steps in the right direction to get to this place. And for some of you, you will really feel like you do get to this very grounded and independent, solid place. I'm also getting I'm seeing her outfit, and I'm getting like not to cloak your talents. it's kind of a similar message to something that a confidence issue would get in the way of, like my skating story. You have all of that there, and I'm seeing that with this figure, so it's not a typical meaning of this card, but this figure, the message I'm getting from my guides, wearing this cloak that's kind of, you can't really see her shape very well. It's almost like hiding your beauty. And I don't mean that's physical. It could be for some of you. It could be in some way you're not expressing your full physical beauty, especially if that's something you want to do or that's important for something. But it's going to really refer to your other assets, attributes, positive attributes you may be cloaking or hiding. And again, it's going to be confidence issues with some of you. For some of you, it might just be feeling like a little down and just not really wanting to fully go there. But the message is to embrace you and what you have to offer and all of what you have from that fiery wand energy, and to really be yourself. That will help you get to that more stable position. Okay, and then I'm seeing this large pentacle in the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, the message I'm getting is that, so with these 9 pentacles, and you add that 1 pentacle from the Queen, makes 10. So I feel like the message there is that to really fully achieve your goals, to get to that 10, be yourself, to be her. And that while there may be some of that emotional stuff going on right now, that can also, you can find strength in that. That can make you stronger. So if you're a writer, for example, I just suddenly saw the wands as like a calligraphy pen. Write about that. Write about whatever it is emotional that you're going through. That can really bring you stability. Maybe your writing will lead people to, your blog site or something along those lines. Some of you may get published. So that's a message. And then I'm also reaffirming, I'm seeing that the 9 of Wands top there reminding me of like a peacock and with their feathers unfurled, and that this bird in the 9 of Pentacles looks like from the peacock family, or resembles it, and the message is that to really let those feathers unfurl and really show off that beauty. So that's a similar message to the one before too. So you have it all. Show it. Try not to get in your own way and really just be yourself. I feel like you'll really make headway on that this month. Okay, if you're interested in a personal reading, you're welcome to contact me at soulsintersect@gmail.com. Thanks, and have a great month, Sagittarius.